I really wanted to do during our last game together was tell my father I loved him and forgave him. And all I wanted to hear was how much he loved me and how proud he was of me. But again, life and baseball really boil down to the simplest of things. And those seemingly simple things would prove as difficult to come by as a big hit for the Cardinals in our last game together. First inning, Game 4, St. Louis Cardinals, Chicago Cubs, National League Division Series. Anything can happen. October 2015. Before the start of every baseball game I ever watched with my dad, as soon as the national anthem had ended and his hand was off his heart, he would say the same thing. Anything can happen. It was an astonishing statement of optimism from my eternally pessimistic father, who had pretty much hated the state of the world since his 1950s Happy Days life ended. But when the players took the field, the pitcher was warming up, the fans were buzzing, the sky was blue, the beer was cold, and the game was scoreless, Ted Rouse was plumb near Walt Disney. Anything can happen. That's right, I say. He is wearing the Cards cap I gave him after they won the 2011 World Series. It is still in pristine shape. The bill is unbroken and the shiny stickers are still attached, and my dying father looks as if he's trying to emulate today's urban youth. I watch his head bob, and then he is asleep. Suddenly, the Wrigley fans roar and my dad jerks awake. "Screw the Cubbies!" he yells as best he can at the TV. He looks at me and nods as if to say, "I've still got enough life to roar back too, son." We are sitting in the living room of the tiny home I had built for my nearly 80-year-old father a few years ago. It was his wish to die at home. He hated his short-lived stint in assisted living. "Doesn't play well with others," the home's administrator had told me as if my father was in preschool. "I don't either," I told her. At the time, assisted living was the only temporary solution. My father had been in a downward spiral since my mom died of cancer in 2009. His drinking had escalated, his health had declined, and he'd somehow turned into Ellen Burstyn in Requiem for a Dream, collecting oxy from doctors all over the Ozarks. I'd found him nearly dead on a surprise visit, lying soiled in his own bed. While recovering in the hospital, my father not only detoxed, but was tested for dementia. When the doctor asked him to draw a baseball diamond and he couldn't, I had to sprint to the hallway to hide my tears. "You can't stay at home," I told him. "The bedroom and bath are upstairs, there's no railing on the stairway, the house is too big." He refused to move near me, to leave the little town in which he'd lived his whole life. My father hated change. I was the king of surprises. I always teased him I should put "refused to change" on his gravestone. "At least people will know where to find me," he'd say. "You, on the other hand?" I look over at my father. His head is bobbing again, the Cards cap pecking the air like a duck's bill. "I just want to die at home," my father told me in assisted living. "Die with dignity." I remember a pain knifing through my heart at that moment because I knew that would be exactly what I'd want, too, at the end of my life. So I helped him build a small, wheelchair-accessible home on the lot where my grandma and grandpa had lived and died. It was a big parcel of land set high on a hill that overlooked the main street into our tiny town, as well as the rolling Ozarks hills leading out of it. From this vantage, my dad could see everything. It only seemed fitting that he could watch the town die as he did. "We're both survivors, boy," my dad says to me out of the blue as the first inning of Game 4 is about to start. I lean closer to him. That can be a good thing or a bad thing. "Which is it, Dad?" I ask. "Good or bad?" He smiles. "Not up to me to decide anymore."